There's been some interesting coverage of the Democratic race, and some interesting contrast. Now, Chris Matthews' wife is running for, I believe, the Senate. Do I have that? The House. She's running for the House of Representatives from Maryland. Yeah, in Maryland, and so she's going to need the help of the institutional Democratic Party. You know, if my wife was running for the House of Representatives as a Democrat, I would be sucking up to the Democrat. Well, maybe not. I don't know. But, you know, I think most people would have the instinct of trying to, you know, suck up to the Democrats. And whether that's influencing Chris Matthews' worldview or whether he just really believes on, you know, in the insiders always being right and the outsiders being dumb or what, I don't get it. But clip number 5, this is Chris Matthews, was this yesterday on MSNBC.
I think you're offering a lesson in civics, and I wonder if we can do that in a couple of weeks. Now, look, the history of the Democratic Party, your party, not Bernie Sanders, he's not a Democratic Party member. Your party has produced the New Deal. It produced the progressive income tax came from the Democrats, from Wilson. Social Security, the greatest anti-poverty program ever, came from Roosevelt. And Harry Truman started to fight for health care and civil rights and all these good things that led to the Affordable Care Act. But in every case, you had a battle of Republicans who voted against it to the last person. And it's always been a tough fight, and you need 60 votes in the Senate. You need 218 in the House. You need these
18,
votes.
right.
And if you don't have them, nothing gets done. The Bernie people need to be taught, not him, he won't be taught. Can the kids behind him need to be told this is how it works in our system? You can call for revolution, but it ain't going to happen.
It ain't going to happen. Brilliant. He lists all these things that happened as the result of political revolutions and then says you can call for a political revolution, but it ain't going to happen. I was aghast. So what? Okay, clip number 3. Here's now, speaking of the need for a political revolution, this was a conversation this morning that Joe Scarborough had with Bernie Sanders.
When you talk about a revolution, define a revolution, because of course everybody does this. We've been talking about the Reagan Revolution for 40 years, and nobody suggested that Republicans were going to have tanks roll down Pennsylvania Avenue. We talked about the Gingrich Revolution in 1994, when it may have seemed for some Democrats like tanks were about to roll down Pennsylvania Avenue.
Yeah, I was one of them. Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly. I know. I was there with you. Right. You were like running for you. You said, "Where's the fallout shelter?" But I'm concerned that people are taking your words when you talk about a revolution, when you're obviously talking about a peaceful political revolution, and they're twisting and distorting those words to suggest that you are somehow a commie. And I'm talking about Democrats saying this.
Joe, I think you're right.
Talk about what you mean when you say revolution.
Good. This is what I mean, Joe. And you're absolutely right. And there are people who are doing that. And I think that is pretty pathetic. What do I mean by revolution? I will tell you. Political revolution. That is in the last election that we had in November 2014. Do you know what? 63% of the American people didn't vote. 80% of young people didn't vote. To my mind, what a political revolution means is a revitalization of American democracy. You know what I think? I want to see America have one of the highest voting turnouts of any major country on earth, not one of the lowest voting turnouts. And I think I want to see people get involved in the political process, be thinking about the important issues, debating the important issues. I want political consciousness to go up, because I believe when that happens, when young people and working people become involved in the political process, it will not just be billionaires and wealthy campaign contributors who determine what's happening in Washington. That's the thrust of everything that I'm talking about. That's the political revolution, Joe.
It was really quite a remarkable conversation that they had this morning. Clip number 1. Here's again. This is Joe Scarborough treating Bernie respectfully. Now, whether he's doing this because he's buying into the conventional wisdom that if the Democrats nominate Bernie, then the Republicans will win, which is, there's a lot of Democratic consultants. I was talking to one night before last who is like, totally in the bag with this belief. These guys who are like part of the power structure in this town. They want, when they grow up, they want to be lobbyists, right? And they're like, if you nominate Bernie Sanders and he does any of that stuff that he's talking about, it's going to be the end of the Democratic Party. It'll never get, or if you nominate him, the Republicans are just going to steamroll him, all that. So maybe Joe believes that, and that's why he's being nice to Bernie. Or maybe he's just, like doing some penance. Say what? We're running out of time. Okay, here's clip number 1.
Bill Clinton said that, you're addressing these issues by giving emotionally satisfying promises to people, echoing other claims that some of your promises are fantastical and they actually can't ever be carried out. I asked Senator Thom Hartmann when we were in Iowa what was Hillary Clinton's message, and the first thing he said to me was that she can win, and insinuating that you're unelectable. Given these claims from the opposing campaign, could you please respond? Are you electable?
Sure. Well, let me respond in 2 ways. Tell me why it is utopian. Tell me it is why it is impractical that the United States do what every other major country on earth is doing, guaranteeing health care to all people. We are the odd guys out. Number 2, tell me why it is impractical to say that with massive wealth and income inequality, the rich and large corporations should start paying their fair share of taxes. Why is it impractical to say that when our infrastructure is crumbling, we should rebuild our infrastructure and create 13 million jobs? So I don't think these ideas are impractical. What they are is saying, to make these kinds of changes, we are going to have to stand up to Wall Street, to corporate America, to the large campaign donors who are not particularly concerned about the needs of the middle class.
And that's something that Claire McCaskill doesn't want to see happen, apparently. So, or Thom Hartmann, for that matter, apparently. To watch more clips from our programs, hit the Watch More Videos button over here. And please be sure to hit the handy-dandy subscribe button so you'll always be up to date. Tag, you're it.